Good morning, welcome to TERRA at Home, and this morning we're joined by Katie Hurst of TERRA and the TLC program. So tell me a little bit about what that means, what that is.
So basically what it is we're there to help the homeowner with any kind of landscape problems that they might have. We can come out and identify plants for people who aren't so familiar with what they have in their garden, identify insect and disease problems, things along those lines, and we also do design, kind of on-the-spot design. So we come in and kind of roughly measure out the space and work with the homeowner to look at different bed layouts and plant selection, things like that.
That's great, and that's the thing when nowadays, people have from the smallest little ittiest-bittiest garden, because properties are getting smaller, to massive areas that they don't know what to do with. They almost have too much space. So you really, some people are really handy and good, but they still need some advice. So first off, to talk about disease and a lot of times, I know even just recently my mom was going through where one of her trees that she's had planted forever and a day, all of a sudden just started getting little bumps on the leaves and started looking, and lo and behold, she's had to take it out. So people, it's sad, and maybe sometimes you could prevent losing a tree if you can identify that there's a problem, right?
For sure, yeah, definitely. Noticing those things early and having the coach come out and just kind of see what's happening with it, and even ways to just strengthen the tree by helping to fertilize it and keeping it watered, things like that can really prevent diseases and insects as well.
So preventative first.
For sure.
Now, if a tree does have an issue like that already beginning, you can save the tree sometimes if it's something started?
Yeah, it depends on what's happening with it. Yeah, for sure.
So that's good to know, right? Especially if you have an older tree, you can't just replace a tree that's been growing there for 20 years that quickly and that easily, right? It's a shame to lose something like that. So, okay, so that's one stage of it. So, again, moving on to, having a lot of space and trying to just fill it and create some balance within your garden and something pretty to look at. You guys can literally come out and lay out the land for them.
Yeah, we look at it. Often people are looking just for, one bed, at the front of their house, or just something to fill in along the back. But we can definitely look at kind of how the whole, area is working, and how you move through the landscape and how you can define the space with beds and with trees and shrubs and flowers, things like that.
Just to frame things and give it some type of texture.
Definitely.
And that's the thing too, when you're looking at, one thing I've learned a lot here being at TERRA now for a while is it is about heights and textures and colors, and watching how as the plant life progresses through the season from spring to summer to fall, you want to have color all the time, and things are changing. Some things almost go dormant, right? Some plants go dormant, so it's good to have advice for you to actually help them pick out, so not only the design but also the plants that they need.
Definitely, yeah. There are a lot of plants that will give you that kind of multi-season interest that start out, looking one way in the spring, change in the summer, change in the fall, and then give you good structure through the winter.
That too.
For sure. So we try to design, with that in mind, so that the garden is always looking good. You can definitely add splashes of color, with annuals and things like that to really bump it up. But definitely trying to design so that it does, transform throughout the seasons.
And that's great. So if you get to the point where you are planting perennials and that type of thing, but some people only want to do the annuals. That's all they can do, right? So they like to have the professionals come in. So once you get to the point where you guys have helped design the landscape, the overall, then you basically give them an outline of what plants they need, right?
For sure.
Okay, so let's go to the beginning. What the stages would be someone would go through if they need some help in their property.
Okay, yeah. So first thing would be to contact us. So they can do that either by coming into the store and talking to the store staff here, or they can also go to our website and sign up online, and then we contact them and set up an appointment. And then people often give us a bit of a guideline of what they're looking for up front when we speak to them on the phone. But often it's just a matter of walking into the landscape with them and kind of just doing a little bit of a walk around and seeing what they really need help with and what their concerns are.
So you guys go right to the property.
Exactly.
So it's not just about photos. You actually go there.
That's
good.
Which is really helpful,
It is.
to get a good understanding of the site, what's happening. And then we kind of ask probing questions and try to get see what they're really, what they like, what they don't like, things like that.
Because some people don't know what they want.
For sure,
right?
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah, I bet. Because you don't even know, if you don't know enough about, horticulture and plant life, you don't even know where to start.
Yeah, for sure. So we often just provide options too. We could say we go this way or we go this way, and then kind of get a sense that way as well. Yeah. And once we're at the point of kind of understanding what they are looking for, we start to just draw out the landscape and draw out, potential bed shapes, and often working with them along the way to be like, is this okay, or would you like something more like this?
That's good.
It's very collaborative, very, working with people as opposed to just designing for them.
And then present, okay, this is what you could do, which is one thing, and that's which is a lot of landscape companies do.
Yeah.
But this is a different approach. And again, as you say, if they're sitting there working with you, you almost feel like you could achieve more
for sure
in a short time.
And that's what coaching is really about. It's about empowering people to like understand that they can do this. That this is part. This is their landscape, and to be engaged in it, and be a part of that.
So that's the thing. So you give them eventually a list of an idea of the plants you think where they should be, and then from there they can just come into Terra and pick it all out themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of people go that route, of just coming in and picking the plants and placing them according to what we've laid out.
Yep. And some people like to get dirty, and they want to do that. At least you've gotten them to that stage,
definitely.
right? So
and starting them on a potentially starting on a gardening career. Not a gardening career, but like
you're learning along the way, right?
A new hobby.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people who just don't have the time or just aren't interested, and that's totally fine. And so we also have a contractor that we work with if people want the design installed.
Perfect. And that gives them, because that you don't want to just leave them loose with that information. So now at least you can guide them to somebody that is a reputable company that good to go.
Exactly.
And who is it that you use for
Linden Lawn Care.
Linden, okay. So that's great, right? So then that can take them to the next stage, and then they can literally come in and take care of it for them.
Exactly.
Love it.
So the next step is they come out and look at the plan and give them a quote, and then they proceed from there with Linden.
And that's and that's the great part about gardening is you can start small, you can build on if you know from the plans that you guys have designed. Maybe this year I can only do this much.
Yep.
And next year maybe we can go around the side of the house, we can do the back, and so it doesn't have to be a whole lot of money all at once.
Yep.
And you can really just sort of, it's adaptive, right? And I think that's a nice idea.
Definitely.
So obviously we're doing you guys stretch right through April right through into October.
Yeah.
So here we are, kind of moving from the end of August into September. This is a great time of year again to start considering that fall planting season. So this is rather than the dead heat where we don't really like to plant, right? So you should probably booking now would be a good idea.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, so have you guys come in and do a little analysis. So come on into the store, any of the locations, the Terra locations that we have, or as you say, go onto the website and you can find out more information there and get you guys hooked up. So I think that's a great idea. I think it helps people, it gives people an option, because a lot of people are like, okay, I love Terra greenhouses, they're beautiful, big places, I can go and find plant life, but I don't necessarily know what I want to do.
And it can be overwhelming and intimidating, a lot of the time. So we're there to make it simpler and seem manageable.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so it's a good program. So again, you can find it at Terra Greenhouses, and we have a whole lot more show coming up after this, so please stay with us. Thanks a lot.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
Heritage Perennials presents Terra's Perennial Pick of the Week. Stelladora daylily is the most popular daylily of all time. Easy to grow and tough as nails, yellow trumpet flowers for months on end. Heritage Perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
AM 900 CHML is giving you more news when you want it most. Non-stop news weekday mornings 5 till 9, weekday afternoons 3 to 6, with weather and traffic on the 9s. Hear about it first from AM 900 CHML, Hamilton's news talk leader.
Welcome back to Terra at Home, and on our set today we welcome back Gillian Love from the LCBO, and it is still summer and we're going to soak it up for as long as we can, so we thought we'd bring you on to talk about some great summer cocktails.
Yeah, we have some fabulous summer cocktails available at the LCBO, also on our website too. If you're not sure and you want something a little different, I brought a selection of different cocktails in, Leslie.
Love it.
Different colors, different flavor profiles, and a lot of them, because it's the dead heat of the summer now, they're very refreshing and they're great for backyard entertaining and very easy to make.
And that's the thing, cocktails are not just for the ladies, Men can enjoy a good cocktail as well. Some, again, go really sugary sweet, and some can be really like
some
tart
can be
or almost
savory. Yeah, some can have a savory spin on it too.
Yeah.
You can make, the key is just to make sure that you have very basic ingredients in your bar. You don't have to go crazy with lots of, massive ingredients or lots of fancy alcohol. You can just keep it very simple, and the whole key is to use it with nice fresh fruit juices.
Yes.
Keep everything nice and fresh. Use fresh ice. It's very important to,
It's all those little elements, right?
Little things like that add up. You keep your glasses cold in the fridge and just keep everything nice and fresh.
Well, it's funny, whenever you give a guy, especially a guy, this like frosty glass, even just for a beer, it just changes everything, right?
Yeah, it puts them right in a good mood.
It does. It's all part of that, right? So again, you can prepare that. Even the glasses. I mean, having some girlfriends over in your backyard, get some really cool cocktail glasses.
Yeah,
right?
the first thing we see is we drink it up with our eyes,
Yes.
and we really look at the colors, and that's what attracts us to
make it
beverages.
look pretty. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some of these cocktails you've made for us today.
Okay, the one on the end is made with the new Pinnacle whipped vodka. It's a flavored vodka, brand new, really, really hot right now. All these nice flavored vodkas that are coming out.
I cannot believe it. It tastes, it's whipped cream vodka. It tastes like whipped cream. It's vodka.
It's infused with a kind of a confectionist whipping cream, which when you think, what do I add with something like whipped cream,
right.
you can certainly add an ice cream to it to make a dessert. Or what we've done is we've made a very simple summer fizz drink with the whipped vodka. We've got some cranberry juice, and we've topped with some tonic water. So it's very refreshing. It takes the sweetness off with the tartness of the cranberry, and it's just really nice and fresh.
Well, that's the thing, that there are so many different kinds of flavored vodkas out there right now that are way off the charts, and people look at them and they're like, I don't know how to mix them. I don't know what to put in there.
Because they're very flavor specific.
Exactly.
So you're not sure what fruit juices to match.
Yeah, but wow, that's cool.
The next one I have is also a flavored vodka. It's the Finlandia grapefruit flavored vodka, and we made a spritzer out of that. So we added 1.5 ounces of the Finlandia vodka. We added some Moscato, which is an Italian grape that's really trendy right now. It's got a little bit of residual sweetness, nice acidity. It's almost got an effervescence to it.
Yep.
And then we've topped with the grapefruit juice. Yeah, sparkling grapefruit juice.
So you're using grapefruit flavored vodka and grapefruit spritzer, like a grapefruit carbonated beverage.
Right. And then it's nice and fresh. And
I like that idea. That one is very fresh. So again, it's not going to be over the top sweet or
and it's just tart, and that's nice for people who don't like drinks too sweet.
Right. So again, there's that cocktail for people who don't like the real sticky sweet like
sweet
those
stuff.
apple martinis and things like that. Okay, so let's talk about the next one, the blue. Okay, pretty. Is this sweet?
It is sweet. It's blue curacao, which is an orange flavor, and we've just substituted. It's a regular margarita, Leslie, but we've substituted it with blue curacao, which gives it, unlike triple sec that's clear, it's blue, so it gives a fun color.
Yeah, it's
for
kind of exudes summer, right?
Yeah, it's like a blue lagoon or a blue margarita, so it's fun.
Okay, so it's easy,
and
right?
then the little drink at the end, of course, with the LCBO, we have to be very socially responsible.
Yes.
And that's no alcohol involved at all, but it's important for your guests to make sure that they're part of the party and have a nice looking drink as well. So.
Well, that's what I love about that is that, again, sometimes the people who are choosing not to drink just because they don't, or because they're the designated driver.
Right.
Or some people shift, maybe have an alcoholic beverage and then will shift. Don't make it an afterthought. Really create, it's so easy.
It's very easy, and just by mixing a couple of fruit juices together and a little bit of carbonation, you've got a great drink.
Yeah, so again, cranberry is always a great base for that, any type of citrus combination, and look at how pretty that looks. And
a nice garnish too.
I love it.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, so you're actually going to make a blender drink. So again, there's a lot of really cool ways that you can ice up a drink.
You can make this ahead of time, throw it in the freezer, and then just pour it when you're ready to serve.
Okay.
So it's very simple. It's half and half of the limoncello, which is a lemon flavored liqueur, half Malibu rum in the blender. We add a whole can of Minute Maid lemonade.
Wow.
And then we just add a little bit of ice into here. Lots of ice or little ice as you want. It's up to you. And then what we do is we just blend it right up.
And that's nice and easy drink, right? And again, nice and fresh because it's that lemon flavor with a little bit of coconut in there, the coconut rum.
Right. And then you just pour it right into a pitcher, and this can go right into your freezer.
Okay.
And then
nice and cold.
you can keep it cold. It'll never freeze because of the alcohol, but it'll go into a slushy, which is really lovely, and it's so tart and delicious.
Yeah.
It's great with chocolate desserts. believe it or not.
Oh, right. Because you see that a lot of times, you know, the Italian culture will pair up. They'll do like even that lemon ice that they make, this, you know, a gelato, and then they put it with like a dark chocolate or something. So you can see how that would work.
It's
nicely.
amazing together.
So that's the great part. So again, it's really about opening up your mind, going and taking a walk through the LCBO, and really getting an idea of, you know, some of the flavoring that you like. Because sometimes, you know kind of what your guests like, but sometimes you almost want to introduce them to something new.
New and exciting, and there's lots of new stuff out on the market right now.
Exactly.
And lots of neat things that we don't always see, and lots of seasonal alcohol that we don't see all through the year.
Right, and that's a good point too. And the way you guys, you know, you set up your displays in the stores, everything looks so great. People can come in, and I think one other thing we should mention too is the little pocket guide that you guys have.
It's a pocket guide with spirits, so it gives you all kinds of cocktail ideas, drink ideas. All the new spirits are in that book. It's great. It's available at our store all through the summer, so be sure to check it out.
And it really, I mean, it's something for everybody. So you've got, you know, from rums to again getting to some basic gins, and cocktails based off that. You know, because you also have some people who are coming over and they just want that simple, straight, clean martini.
Yep, they just want something plain and classic, and that's fine too. And classic is coming back.
Well, that's the thing. You're seeing that more, I guess, you know, also because of Mad Men and all the influence from there. And I know that you guys have had that influx of that too. I mean, it's Mad Men basically has, you know, dictated the change in fashion as well as drinks, and going back to the traditional cocktail parties and having those old
and we're
school
flooded
hors d'oeuvres.
with people running in saying, "I want the drink that's on Mad Men."
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh, it's fun. It's amazing. It's
It
nice
takes you
to
back
see.
to the, you know, the Singapore slings and all those, you know.
It makes you feel part of that environment too.
And that's the thing. So again, we have to soak up summer. We have to enjoy it. You know, pretty much just less than a month left. And of course, we all know once we get past Labor Day and we get into September, it's
apple cider season then, and beer.
See, she's thinking. She knows her stuff. Gillian Love, always great to have you on the show. And we thanks again to the LCBO. And we'll have you back in the fall. We'll talk ciders. That's it for now. We'll be back with more.
Come and explore the new Terra, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Welcome back to At Home. I'm here with Haddam Joshan, and you are with Steeped Tea, which is interesting. Right. It's your wife's original project, and you of course jumped on board out of going for the ride, right?
That's
right.
But
this is a really interesting company. How many years have you guys been together now?
Well, Tanya started this about 6 years ago, and it really took off about 2.5 years ago. I came on board a couple of years ago.
And this is just, and really, we should talk a little bit about the background of the company. So Steeped Tea, I mean, everybody knows what tea is and the value behind that, but this is something that's gone beyond just drinking a cup of tea.
That's right. We actually, we do home tea parties, and that's, I always tell people that we don't really sell tea, we sell an experience at your home. It's a home tea party. We've got about 600 consultants across Canada, and growing. And we have a huge selection of teas. You basically have your girlfriends over, you call up a consultant, she comes over with a few teas for you to try out, and the catalog gets passed around, you get to see her kit and things like that, and it's a really fun evening. It's non-intrusive.
And that's the thing. So it's taking the old parties from back in the day, but adding a new twist to it and making it, again, the approach is different. Right. And again, it's not just about buying just the tea. You guys have taken it to a whole other level at this point. So from, as we're going to display today, cooking with teas, drinking teas, cold teas by, you know, again, experimenting with flavors and I mean, the rubs that we're going to do here today and the dressings, I mean, it's just endless.
That's right. we love exploring all sorts of new avenues with tea. So you're never bored at a party.
Right.
If as a hostess, if you want to have a party, you can choose from cooking or having tea or matcha smoothies.
Yeah.
Even kids tea parties too. We do a lot of fruit teas.
Oh,
Yeah.
and so that's
it works
again,
out
it's
well.
great. Kids can have tea as well, right?
That's
As you
right.
say, when it comes to herbal blends and fruit teas. And again, so let's talk about some of the possibilities outside of just drinking a hot cup of tea. A salad dressing, for example.
Sure. This is our chamomile vinaigrette. So it's made of mostly chamomile tea. And in order to make this, you really have to boil a cup of water. You put a couple of tablespoons in. You add a little bit of olive oil. And there you go. You've got a vinaigrette. The reason you have to boil it is to get all the flavor out of the
Sure.
chamomile.
That makes sense. Like you would a tea.
That's
Yeah.
right. And you would add the oil while it's hot too, because the oil will actually steep the chamomile as well.
I love it.
Yeah, you just chill it a little bit before you put it on your salad.
Okay.
And just whatever kind of salad you like, onions, mushrooms, cucumbers, just drop it all in.
And I get the
pour your
great
vinaigrette
part
on top.
about this is it's all natural.
That's
So
right.
it's not packed full of preservatives. It's not in if it's in a jar in your fridge, liquid. You're buying it as it's a supermarket. It has a very short shelf life if you're buying organic or natural. Where this, you've got it in a package like that.
That's right.
Which makes it a lot easier. It's sealable and it lasts forever.
That's right. We've
Yeah.
got air seals. They're airtight. And as long as you keep this in a dark cupboard, you're good. We generally have to say it's about a year shelf life, but in reality, it's airtight. It's in a dark spot. It'll go for
It's
a
gonna
couple
go
of
for a
years
while.
at least. Yeah,
So that makes
that's
it
right.
easy. That's easy.
That's
It's a
it.
great,
Nothing
easy
to
salad.
it.
Yeah.
There's a salad, and it actually tastes really, really good. The chamomile isn't overpowering. It's very subtle, and the olive oil, and you can add a lemon if you'd like.
Sure.
But it really works out well. It's very healthy, and chamomile doesn't have any caffeine or anything. It's an herb,
Right.
so,
right. So you don't have to worry about that.
You don't have to worry about anything
Exactly.
keeping
Okay.
you up.
All right. So let's move on to the next one then.
So this is our herbs de Provence, and we use a lot of we use some of the herbal teas in here. And basically what we're going to do is just vegetables on a barbecue. All you need, whatever vegetables you like, herbs de Provence, you mix it in with the olive oil and some lemon, and you put everything in a tin wrap, and a tin foil.
Yeah. Seal it all up and
Right.
put it in.
Stick it on the barbecue.
Beautiful. And again, this just smells amazing. So you're getting again that lavender right off the top, but it's just it's such a nice blend. And again, as you're mentioning, it's just a nice infused flavor that you're
right.
just change up plain old
That's right.
potatoes and tomatoes.
It's a good idea once you make the mixture, just let it sit for about an hour.
Sure.
And then all the herbs and everything.
marinate it a bit.
That's right. They come out in the oil, and it tastes amazing. And you can add, more or a little less oil, whatever vegetables you like. Asparagus is always very good with this.
Well, I can
too.
see how you literally could just continue to experiment. You have these packages of all these different types of mixes and herbs and teas that you could just, it's endless. You
That's
could really
right.
just, you have whatever's in your fridge and hey, I'll just blend that with something and
You would be
make a dish.
surprised. Yeah, you would be surprised how many flavors you can get in tea. They've got traditional flavors that are just amazing. And in reality, some of the flavors that we do get, you can't, they're not normal for a North American palate, so you wouldn't enjoy them that much.
Right.
So we found that, stronger teas like that, why not cook with them? And you'll see in the next
That
part.
makes sense.
That's
Okay.
right, yeah.
Okay, so let's do that.
So the next portion here is the chicken.
Do the chicken? Okay.
And that's a sweet and spicy chai. So we've got a chai here. This is our mix. Chai and some spices. And all you do is add some fancy molasses to it, and you get a mixture. Just
Very
like
cool.
that. Yeah.
Okay, and then again, you just rub it on and
That's
you're
it.
good to go.
It's really thick. Let's see if this will
that's
rub on.
very, very cool.
Yeah, just like that.
And again, it makes all the difference in the world when you're adding these rubs, and they've really become quite a predominant thing now. It's
right.
just having rubs and meats, because you could just take, again, chicken really has no flavor at all. So you're just adding a whole other, and the smells of those.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is a spicier chai, and then with the molasses, it gives that sweet tinge to it. And the chicken is just amazing after dipping
that'd be
in that.
great. And again, great for the summertime. You just make up a salad. You could do this, just these two together, and
That's
you're good
right.
to go.
That's right. But of course, steak. We always have to have.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's do the steak.
So this is what I do on a regular basis at home.
Okay.
Basically, the smoky tiaki rub. This is lapsang souchong. So this tea actually smells and tastes like a barbecue.
It really does. It's smoky.
That's
It's
right.
got some real flavor.
And we find that we can't really. It's very difficult to drink here. It's kind of an acquired taste.
Yes.
But when you cook with it, it's amazing. If you like charcoal, cooking with charcoal and things like that, but you can't on a regular basis, put some of this on and it tastes amazing.
Well, that's interesting because that seems like that would be a safer approach to having a smoky flavor in something without getting the nitrates and all what comes with that, smoking something. So that actually, it really gives people that opportunity who avoid smoking, things that are smoking.
And it's very simple. You just add this to some olive oil, you get a nice thick rub, and this is a little different than the chicken. You don't want to rub this on. You actually want to physically press it into the meat.
So you're going to work it right in there.
That's right. You got to work it right in.
Okay.
And what happens here is that the meat will absorb the oil and the flavor
right through.
all the way in, and it will keep it moist the whole way through.
I love it. That is great.
And instead of just rubbing it on or spreading it on, you kind of pound it in, let it sit for about half an hour, and stick it on the barbecue, and you can cook it the way you like.
And it's good to go.
Yeah, it's good to go.
I love it. Great. So again, it's just endless possibilities. And I mean, there's more. I mean, obviously, there's you can bake with it. You bake with cheese. You can. I mean, you look at your catalogs. It's just you're like, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, you can make ice cream too. I love it.
That's right.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back after this quick break, and we're going to make a tea, a cold tea, but it actually ends up becoming a mojito.
That's right.
So yes, you can make drinks with it as well, which is kind of cool. Right now we're making it just because it is the morning. Just a straight mojito, but you could always add alcohol if you wanted.
After the 12 o'clock hour.
Right. All right, we'll be back here or at home with steeped tea.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Welcome back to At Home. We're here with Adam from Steeped Tea, and of course, of all the wonderful millions of things you can do with tea, one, of course, would be making a cool tea or turning it into a really lovely mojito-style drink. And just take us through the steps quickly here and show us how easy it is.
Our mojito, we sell, everything we sell is loose leaf tea. So this mojito is actually made with green tea and spearmint and all natural ingredients. You can see all the ingredients on the bag.
Yep.
All you have to do, we use one of our containers that you actually can put boiling water right in there.
Love this container. How cool is this? Or anybody at home that makes a lot of cold teas. So this entire filter comes right out.
That's right.
Oh, it's just amazing.
You put your loose leaf tea into that filter so it doesn't seep into the drink.
Yep.
This is a bit of a dusty tea, so you will get a small amount of tea in there. So cool. Just boil your water.
Yep.
Put your leaves in there. Give it a few minutes. It says about 3 to 4 minutes. Generally, the longer that you put it, the darker it gets. And for this drink, what you want to do is add as much sugar as you want. Usually for 4 cups, you would add about 2 tablespoons of sugar.
But that's the great part about teas is that you can adjust it to your own personal taste.
That's right. You can control the sugar content.
Versus some of that really sugary drink. Especially as we're talking, you could take this and add a rum to it and make it a beautiful cocktail for the summer.
Amazing.
All right,
so
what do we
there's
do?
nothing to it. All you put is your mint leaves in here. Just grind them up a little bit just to get the flavor out. Drop them in with the ice, a lime, drop that into, and then tea.
So as you're doing that, I'll mention again, your website is steepedtea.com. People can go on. There, again, you have access to basically distributors throughout the area, the region that you can attach yourself to and create a relationship with. And the catalogs, and it just shows you how endless it is. The possibilities. You can cook, you can drink, you can bake with tea. And
you can either hold a party and purchase your tea that way, or if you're not interested, you can actually just go online and shop using their shopping carts.
Perfect.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm going to give this a little try. And
try that.
And I heard that you were on Dragon's Den, so I heard there's some good news, so we'll have to watch it in September.
That's right.
Cheers. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right.